She's been unconscious for almost a day.
So when do you think she will regain consciousness?
I cannot give you a concrete number, sorry. We're hoping in the next few days, but again, it could be much longer. I understand. Thank you for your effort.
I was the one who caused the accident. That's why I've been bothering you so much. Sorry for that. I just hope she'll recover soon. No worries. I'll give you some space, okay?
Wow, aren't you a professional actress or what? I just hope she'll recover soon. I'm not as good as you. Look at you, all sad and worried because your beloved wife is in danger. Hang in there, darling. The insurance money will be ours soon. I'll make sure she won't survive.
You'd better keep your word. I can't wait to move in with you.
And I can't wait to move in with you.
My name is Sarah, and I had been married to my husband Alex for 6 years. We had a beautiful life together and a cozy home. We both had steady jobs and everything seemed perfect. But as time went by, I started to feel like something was missing. Our romance was slowly fading away, and I didn't know what to do about it. I tried to talk to Alex about it, but he always brushed it off, saying that everything was fine. I naively assumed that maybe this difficult period in our marriage was just temporary and things would eventually revert back to the way they used to be. I tried to focus on other tasks to improve the quality of our lives. I focused more on my career as a primary school teacher. I didn't like my job so much, but Alex really wanted me to keep it because it ensured a stable stream of income for both of us. I was also more mindful of our savings and made some adjustments to our financial habits. Then, we saved enough to purchase new insurance plans that covered every possible accident and illness, so I felt really secure. I was at peace, knowing that no matter what happened, we were covered. But little did I know that life had other plans for me. One day, I was about to have a coffee date with my brother Hans to catch up on our lives. We were very close since we were kids, but because of his busy job, we could never meet up as often as we wanted to. He's a police officer in town, and I'm always so proud of him. That day, I was really excited that he could finally make some time to grab coffee with me. Since life at home had been rather gloomy, I was really looking forward to spending the afternoon with Hans. It was a rainy day, so it wasn't easy for me to walk to the coffee shop. I was really careful and minding my steps though. But it seemed like that was not enough to keep me safe. Unfortunately, I was crossing the road when out of nowhere, I was hit by a car. The impact was so sudden that I didn't have time to react. I was thrown to the ground, and everything went black. The last image that I could remember was Hans sitting in the coffee shop on the other side of the road, terrified when he saw me. I prayed Hans would find me and take me to the hospital immediately. The rest was a blur. When I regained consciousness, everything hurt. I could feel a sharp pain in my head, and my body felt like it had fallen to the ground from a great height. But I could feel the comfortable pillow and the soft bedsheet under me. I could hear the beeping sound of the ventilator. I knew I was taken to the hospital and that I was safe. I was going to open my eyes when I heard my husband's voice together with two strangers in the room. Something told me to pretend to be unconscious and eavesdrop on them.
She's been unconscious for almost a day now.
So when do you think she will regain consciousness?
I cannot give you a concrete number, sorry. We're hoping in the next few days, but again, it could be much longer. I understand. Thank you for your effort.
I was the one who caused the accident. That's why I've been bothering you so much. Sorry for that. I just hope she'll recover soon.
No worries. I'll give you some space, okay?
At this point, I could hear the nurse's footsteps as she walked away. I really wanted to open my eyes and tell my husband how happy I am that he was here for me. But I don't know why. I had a very bad feeling about the woman whose voice I could hear from across the room. Maybe it was because she was the driver who hit me, or maybe there was just something in her voice that told me she was not genuine. And just as I suspected, both of them showed their real intentions as soon as they were left alone.
Wow, aren't you a professional actress or what? I just hope she'll recover soon. I'm not as good as you. Look at you, all sad and worried because your beloved wife is in danger. Hang in there, darling. The insurance money will be ours soon. I'll make sure she won't survive.
You'd better keep your word. I can't wait to move in with you.
And I can't wait to move in with you.
I was shocked to the core as I lied there and listened to their cruel laughter. It seemed like the physical pain that I felt was nothing to the pain that my dearest husband was causing. I tried to hold back the tears and the pain so I could piece things together and figure out what was happening. The accident was intentional. My husband wanted to fatally injure me so that he could take the insurance money. The person who hit me was actually his mistress, who planned to move in with him right after he got rid of me. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The man I had loved and trusted had betrayed me in the worst possible way. The worst part was that I didn't know what my husband was planning to do to keep his word. He said that I wouldn't survive. So what did he mean by that? I was devastated and terrified at the same time. I understood that I needed to act. I pretended to be unconscious until my brother was in the room alone with me. Unfortunately, my husband never left me alone with my brother. When Hans came to visit, my husband was always there, making sure that he never spoke to me alone. It was frustrating and I felt trapped. I wanted to tell my brother, but I couldn't find a way to do it. Hans was a really busy police officer too, so he couldn't visit me too often. I felt so alone and helpless. I didn't know what to do or who to turn to. My husband's betrayal had shattered my world, and I didn't know how to pick up the pieces. Every day felt like an eternity. I was in so much pain, both physically and emotionally. I missed my old life, where everything was normal and predictable. I longed to be with my family, but my husband's presence made it impossible. It was a nightmare that I couldn't wake up from. The worst part was that my husband's mistress, Amber, would hover around my bed and say the most horrible things. God, Sarah, why did you have to survive that day? If you were just gone, it would have been so much easier for all of us. Guess what I did today? I signed a settlement with your husband, and I'm gonna pay it off with your insurance money. Am I a genius or not?
Don't you think I deserve to live the comfortable life that you think you deserve? You can't even make your husband happy, honey. This is what you deserve."
And all I could do was hold back my tears and keep waiting. Right when I thought there was no hope and my husband would soon find out that I was pretending to be unconscious, an opportunity presented itself. That night, the nurse was checking up on me right when my husband was going to the bathroom. As soon as I heard his footsteps getting further and further away, I immediately opened my eyes. The nurse was completely startled. She was speechless for a minute. I looked straight into her eyes and mustered all of the strength I had in my body. I tried to speak, but my throat was dry, and my voice came out as a hoarse whisper. The nurse saw that and ran to my side just so she could hear me better. "Please, call my brother immediately. I'm in danger. Call my brother, hence. Call him, please." I knew this was my only chance to tell the truth and get the help I needed. I saw the look of horror on the nurse's face as she took out her phone and her notes to dial my brother's number. I felt a glimmer of hope for the first time in weeks. But my hope was short-lived. Just when the nurse was so close to hitting call, my husband came back. She stopped the call immediately, and I pretended to be unconscious again. The nurse seemed to understand that something was wrong, so she didn't say anything to my husband either. She apologized to him for having used her phone while she was on the job. Alex didn't suspect anything, thank God. I could hear the nurse's footsteps as she walked away once again. All I could do at that point was to pray that she was calling my brother in the hall, but it seemed like I had bigger problems to deal with. A few minutes later, my husband revealed his true intentions. I heard some clanking on my side, where all the machines, including my ventilator, were. I was once again terrified. He wanted to turn off my breathing support system to harm me? I finally opened my eyes, and I looked at him. He had a sinister look on his face, and I knew that he wasn't joking. I tried to scream, but I just couldn't. My throat had been severely injured. Then he said the most terrifying, disgusting thing. "I have been tired of you for such a long time, honey. It's time for you to go." Just when I thought there was no hope left, I heard a voice screaming from the hall, "Help! Help! He's trying to hurt her!" Luckily, the nurse felt that something was off, so she stayed at my door and witnessed everything. She was terrified and she ran inside and stopped Alex from touching my ventilator. My husband immediately denied everything and tried to run away. The nurse hung onto his arms when several other nurses had gathered outside, looking worried. He kept denying having hurt me while trying to get away. "No, let go of me. Let me go. I did nothing wrong. I didn't even touch her yet." He managed to push the nurse aside and sprint. My heart was pounding in my chest as I tried to sit up in the hospital bed, replaying the events over and over. I couldn't believe how close I had come to death. The realization hit me like a ton of bricks, and I felt a surge of emotions flood over me. I had never felt so vulnerable in my life. The thought of leaving Hans behind and never having the chance to say goodbye was almost too much to bear. But as the initial shock wore off, I began to feel a sense of gratitude wash over me. I was alive. Against all odds, I had survived, thanks to the nurse. Later on, I got to hear the rest of the story from her. It turned out that she had managed to call Hans the moment she walked out of the room, and he started driving to my hospital at once. She was slightly injured after the conflict with my husband, but she was just happy I was saved. After running outside, Alex really showed his true intentions. He bumped into my brother on the way out and was immediately caught by Hans. The two got into a scuffle, and my brother ended up taking him to the police. Obviously, Alex could not possibly win a fight against a trained police officer, which was Hans. My husband was arrested and brought to trial for his crimes. It was a long and grueling process, but in the end, justice was served. Thanks to the nurse's testimony and the evidence we had gathered, my husband was found guilty and sent to jail for a long time. His mistress, Amber, was sued too. Of course, she also lost her lawsuit and was sent to jail, together with her lover. I was finally able to breathe a sigh of relief. I had been living in constant fear for so long, and now I could finally rest easy, knowing those wicked people could no longer harm me. It was a huge weight off my shoulder. Slowly but surely, I was recovering. Hans was always by my side, making sure that I was safe, healthy, and hopeful. Going through such a terrible event really opened my eyes. I learned that I had to start living for myself and enjoyed life without needing my husband around. I quit my job as a primary school teacher as soon as I realized I wanted to open a business all by myself. Quitting my stable job was a huge decision for someone who had always played it safe. But I knew that it was the right one. I had always had an entrepreneurial spirit and had dreamed of owning my business for years. The accident had been a wake-up call, and I knew that I couldn't continue to put my dreams on hold any longer. With a newfound sense of purpose, I poured all of my energy into the new venture. So now, I run a coffee shop really close to my brother's workplace, and we can see each other whenever we want to. I'm happier than ever.